Welcome to the show, everybody! Woo! Thank you. Thank you so much. That was amazing. Thank you all. Thank you for tuning into the Jury Question. As always, I'm your host, Chris Arnos, and thank you all for following us every day on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. Today we have some wonderful guests on the show today. Am I right? Yes? Come on, show some love to my guests, everybody. Woo! This is what we do on the show. We're coming up on today, these wonderful guests. They have so much they want to share with us on the show, and it's amazing that we're going to be listening to all the gist they have for us on the show. Let's start with Oscar. Oscar, tell us about yourself.
My name is Oscar Lipinski. I'm 18 years old. I'm originally from Poland. Came here about 11 years ago, and I am the founder and owner of Club Luxe.
Wow, come on, show us some wonderful love for that. I can't just wait to hear more of this coming up. And also to Tracey.
Hi, my name is Tracey Jane Cassidy, and I am the founder of Junior Einsteins Science Club. It's a hands-on science events for children to bring them as much science as possible at a young age.
Very true, very true. Come on! Woo! Amazing. Stay tuned for more of this because we got a game coming up on the show as well. So all of this coming your way. We'll be right back after this. Everyone, let's go! Woo! Thank you. Welcome back to the show as always. Please join me back on Tracey and Oscar on the show, everyone. Woo! Thank you. Thank you guys for coming on the show. It's great to have you guys. How are you keeping? All good?
Very well,
Good.
thank
Very
you.
good, Oscar. Well done, and
Very
Tracey,
good.
well done. Right, Tracey, let's talk about how do you feel about science for children? Tell us about it.
I'll tell you all about it, exactly. So I'm a scientist.
Yes.
I studied science. I have 2 master's degrees in science, and I had 3 children. And when I moved back to Ireland, when they were small, I realized they weren't doing enough hands-on interactive science.
Okay.
So I started doing it myself, and now a whole company has grown from it.
Wow, amazing. Come on, show us a love for that. Amazing. That's the beauty we talk about. You know, we're talking about science, especially when it comes to children. That's a very, very important, side of things.
Yeah.
What really inspires you mostly to really go into it? Because you mentioned, yes, you're science as well, but what really inspires you to look at the area of children, not adults?
Well, I think one of the best examples is that I asked a 13-year-old boy what was temperature. And they said, a couple of his friends said, oh, it's hot, or when you're sick. They didn't have any concept of the idea of scale or spectrum.
Okay.
So I realized that what we need to do in Ireland especially, but everywhere, is to start to teach children the science, the grammar of the language of science when they're very small, so that then when they get to teenagers, they're happy to choose science and they're more familiar with it.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, wow, come on, show us a love for that. So much I'm going to talk to you about on today's show. Let me bring this gentleman in. Oscar. Oscar, how are you today? Good?
Good, good.
Tell us a little good news about the Instagram story.
Basically, I started off my Instagram on a bike in the gym. I was going to the gym for like 3 or 4 months, and I had my headphones in, and I had made like a transformation. So I like put 2 pictures together. I was like, wow, this is actually fairly good what I've done in 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to post this on Instagram, but then I was like, I didn't really have the confidence, and like, so I was on this bike anyway. I had my headphones in. I was in the zone. I was like rocking through my workout, and I was like, do you know what? I'm just gonna do this and like forget about everyone and forget about everything. So I put up a caption, whatever it was, threw it up, and everyone was like, Jesus, that was good. Like, that
Wow.
you've made really good progress. And since then, I've just grown my social media. I've made a few mistakes, but from then I kind of turned my social media into
The
like,
positive side of things. So,
yeah, like I promote my business on it and stuff. So there's good sides and bad sides to social media as well, like,
Yeah, we're going to come into all of that. And
Yeah.
come on, just a love for that, everybody. Amazing, It's good to see a young guy like you, to kind of walk into this kind of things unknown to yourself. And then, like you mentioned, there's a good side and bad side, but you go through it. It's like myself as well. You have to start something from somewhere, and you're going to make mistakes as you go along. And, through that, you get a better transformation, and then you become what you
like
become.
a lot of the time when people look at social media, they see the good in it, but they don't see some of the fake parts of social media and scams and stuff like that. So like, I'm very open about what I do on social media, and like, the more open you are, the more people will respect you and follow you and stuff.
Amazing. Come on, let's go. That's amazing. I like your experience. Tracey, let me come back to you as well.
Of course.
Climate change has been one of the biggest issues right now, from America to Africa to Europe, all around the world. What's your take on that as a science?
Well, gosh, I mean, especially as a scientist, but also as a mom of 3 small children,
Oh, yes.
I know what kind of world I want them growing up.
Very true.
So I think that we all have to really focus on that and be responsible. But what I love to see is I love to see young children and teenagers starting to get really involved and really vocal, really pushing their agenda, because it's their world. It's the world that their children will be growing up in as well.
Very true.
So obviously it's really important that we take every possible, we just start to be sensible and change our lives to try to protect our planet, and from even a small thing that we each can do will make a big difference. And this is what we teach in Junior Einsteins as well. I mean, we teach them all about marine biology, we teach them about the environment and ecology. So if we're teaching children at a young age, at primary school age, they're going to have the vocabulary and they're going to have the understanding to understand it as they grow up.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Wow. And also kids these days, you know, with the way kids are growing and with the impact of climate change that we're facing right now, what do you think that these young kids going to science could bring, you know, to limit climate change in the future? Not now, because now we are talking about it, but, you know, I'm not kind of seeing a lot into it.
Well, I think awareness is one thing, and also allowing them to understand the importance of our oceans.
Very true.
What is plastic, why we use it, and how we should be using it,
Very true.
in the correct way, not the way we use it today. And I think that children are clever. We can't underestimate them. We can't condescend to them. I mean, it's really important in Junior Einstein Science Club when we're working with children to also listen to them, because they have some fantastic ideas.
Very true.
Yeah.
So parents, listen to your kids. Whenever they come to you, listen to them. Anyway, very good. Oscar, let me bring you back in. Now, with a view, with your ideas and your creation and all of these things you have, what's life for you? Do you feel pressure sometimes to actually, you know, try to get your views? You know yourself in social media, there's always that. So tell us about your experience on that.
Not like, I used to be like that. I used to be obsessed with likes, followers and everything. But then I realized if you just be yourself and do your own thing, people will follow you for that, and people will see that you're really trying to be someone and not like do what everyone else is doing. Because one thing about me, I hate doing what everyone else does.
True.
Because if you do what everyone else does, you'll get to where everyone is.
Yeah.
So like, that's one thing about me. I stand out. I try to stand out in everything I do, the way I dress and everything about me. So yeah, but yeah, like social media can be a bit of a pressure sometimes, especially for people that look up to all these influencers.
You know yourself.
And like, do you know, they're like, oh, I want my life to be like this. I want to have lots of followers and stuff.
Very true.
But at the end of the day, like, I try explain to people, like I recently got a message. Some girl was like, oh, I wanted to come up to you at Longitude and get a picture with you, but my friend said he wouldn't like a picture or something. And I texted her back and I said, well, what is the difference between me and you? Like, we're both human. We both like do the same thing and stuff. The only reason why I'm different is because I have social media followers. And again, that's all like psychologically like and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we're two humans, and
exactly.
So it's whatever about you think about the other person. Like, just because they're followers doesn't mean they're much different. Like, they still go through bad days. They still have like bad times and stuff.
Of course, man. You're a gentleman. Come on, I like that. You know, the reason I like everything you're doing right now, it's just with so many things going on in the country right now with youth, as in, you know, teenagers and all the rest, and be able to start talking about young guy like you doing something positive for yourself. It's just so amazing, you know. So we're going to have you guys on the show, Tracey and Oscar. We're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have you guys. Okay, stay tuned for more, because we have Tracey and Oscar Steve to come on the show. We'll be right back after this. Everybody, thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Woo! There you go. It's Tracey and Oscar. Welcome, guys. That was a quick commercial break. Okay, so Tracey, let me go back to you very quickly there. So what would be the expectation for women, if I may even change that question? Are there more women in science at the moment?
No.
Okay.
But there's a huge push towards having more women in STEM in general. So in
Okay.
all the science subjects, engineering, technology, maths
Very
as
good,
well.
very good.
It's really, really important at the moment. There's a lot of advertisements for my business out at the moment.
Yes,
and
very
we
good.
have a girl on one and a boy on the other.
Yeah.
And that's really important. So at Junior Einsteins, we're not about pushing science for girls only.
Mm-hmm.
We're about pushing science for everyone in an equal way.
Okay.
And I think it's important to look at it like that.
Yeah.
But I think the more we encourage girls at the moment in the hands-on, interactive, really fun science when they're younger, obviously there's going to be more girls becoming women in science as they're
Very good.
older.
Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. More women going there. Let's look at that. You know, so how important science is like in Ireland? Do you think there is more cry for it in your own way coming from that field?
Yeah, I mean, I think people are really, really crying out for good quality, skilled scientists in this country, and it will be the same in 10 and 20 years.
Wow.
So what we need to be doing, I do a lot of public speaking at various events around the country, and what I always try to do is speak to the children and the teenagers, as well as the teachers and the parents, and say, you know, who's going to be building our driverless flying cars? And all of the children say, me, me, me. And I say, no, it's going to be robots. It's not going to be you.
Very
Who's going to
true.
program the robots?
Very
you know?
true, very
so
true.
we have to get the children, more children studying more science so that we are prepared and ready in 10 and 20 years.
Wow, amazing. Wonderful, wonderful. Oscar, let me come back to you. Talk us about your own clothing line. Don't worry, shoot it, go on.
So the idea came to me 2 years ago when I used to do modeling for other brands.
Yeah.
And I kind of seen a gap in the market back then, but at the moment it's kind of saturated. So I just got this idea. I knew nothing about it. I didn't know any manufacturer. I didn't have a clue on how to start. Anyway, I started looking into stuff and asking different people about suppliers and everything else. Started researching it. I found a few people, and then from there I made like mock-ups. So like a computer. It's basically a picture on a computer of what the T-shirt is going to look like, because that's all I could launch at the time was T-shirts, because again it was all money. So from there I started doing more and more, and I got my samples and they weren't great. So I was like, I'm after putting everything into this brand. I said, are you really going to launch this, or do you want to hold on another few months and make it perfect? And I held on for another few months, and I perfected the T-shirts and the fit and everything like this. And that's where kind of I am with the brand now. But when I was like saving up for the brand, I remember I needed more money for the brand, and with the job I was in, it was very hard for me to get that amount of money. But I said, look, I'm going to write it on a piece of paper. I'm going to stick it on my door, and I'm going to look at it every day and just work hard. And when I started doing that, I started like getting little jobs here and there that got me like more money, and then I totally forgot about it.
Wow.
And then after a while, it was like September or something, and I looked back at my goal. I was after getting a new job as well. I looked at my goal and had 500 euro more than what I had written down.
Wow, amazing. That's the beauty of how we're seeing it, and that's what they want to see, you know. I just like that determination of you, and keep doing what you do, you know. I really like that, and I hope some other kids out there, male or female, can really get inspired by your own, you know, testimony. Let me bring Tracey in back again. So Tracey, right now, tell us more insight. You work with kids, both boys and girls. Is this a full time for you, or just, you know, in and out?
Oh, it's very full-time for me. So it started off 5 years ago. It was just me, and as a single mom, I couldn't really go out and work full-time. It was challenging. So I started going into local schools myself, and I was doing science experiments, and it became really popular really quickly. So I got a local science student to come and help me do the birthday parties and the camps. So that's 5 years ago, and now we are we're nationwide, more or
Wow.
less, and we're also franchising and licensing internationally.
Wow, very good, very good, very good. So positive and positive and positive. Even though you guys put the hard work, but this is the testimony I like to see you put sharing on the show. So, kids who want to go on board, how do you guys work around them? Would they be a full-time student, or what way is this? Maybe summertime, do they have to kind of...
So we offer loads of services around science for children.
Very good.
The main services we offer are science camps, science birthday parties,
Very good.
science after-school clubs, science school workshops and demonstrations. We even do science corporate events.
Wow.
And we've done some pretty big events over this summer in
Very
Dublin,
good.
Cork and Galway.
Very good.
So parents just go to our website, which is Junior Einsteins Science Club, and you can see all the services there and also information about the franchise, licensing and partnerships.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Amazing. Oscar, let me throw you there before we wrap this and go to the game. I can't wait for the game to come in, Anyway, so Oscar, do you do this full-time or just part-time at the moment?
So at the moment, I work as a personal trainer and I do this part-time.
Very good.
So after work or whatever, I'd still put
Great
some
time
time
to
into
kind of
it.
do
Yeah.
this. Yeah. And you live with your parents? And
Yeah, I live
how
with
was
my
your parents
parents.
all talking about this issue?
At the start, my parents actually, my dad, he wasn't really
Into
too
it.
supportive about this whole thing.
Doesn't know what you're doing at all.
Because there was a lot of money involved in setting up the brand, and I
Very
think
true.
he was scared of me spending this much money. But at the end of the day, if you don't try something, you won't know if it's going to work or not.
Yeah.
So I
How
think
do you try to convince him to say, Dad, look, believe what I'm doing? You
yeah,
know?
and I think that's what drives me in life, is to show people how big this can be and show people what's this going to do in the next few years and where this is going to be at.
Did you ever think of the money before the idea, or you just think of the idea?
Yeah, so most of the time, at the end of the day, it is a business, but I'm kind of more driven by the product and everything other than money, because if you put money in front of something and you truly don't believe in it, well, it's not really going to work out.
That's what really happened there. Wonderful, wonderful. Let me bring Tracey quickly back before we go on a quick break there. So Tracey, like you said, it's for male and female. It's all open. It's summer. Is this something that kids can go in full time for if they want to?
Our summer camps are from 9 until 2 every day.
Okay.
But we do go into schools regularly on a weekly basis. So if
Okay.
a child's in primary school, they can stay for an extra hour after school and do a different science experiment every week for over a year.
Wow.
And all children are really curious. They have children are natural scientists.
Very true, very
So
true.
it's what a lot of medical schools are noticing is that the medical students don't have dexterity to do sewing or anything anymore, because
Yeah.
all the children are swiping all the
That's
time.
right.
So what we're teaching them in Junior Einsteins is a bit back to basics.
Very
Do the
true.
experiments, use your hands, make things,
More
and
physical,
make mistakes,
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah.
What did you do wrong? Learn how to do it again.
Yeah.
So there's an awful lot more. There's also teamwork and collaboration and confidence building, as well as actually learning a little bit of science.
Wow, must go be science anyway. Woo! All right, take a couple more. We'll be right back after this. And Tracey and also Oscar, everybody. Woo! Welcome back, everybody. Come on, just a love everyone. Woo! Thank you. Thanks, Tracey and also Oscar. That was really good. We'll be chatting our way through the whole program. And it's a game time, isn't it? Yeah? Don't worry, it's going to be an easy one. It's not going to be the hard one. Something very fun, as always. So let me start. Like I said again, it's very easy. What I'm going to say to you guys, if you feel it's in Irish, you know what to do. If you feel, oh, no, this is not in Irish, you know what to do. Are we good?
Yep.
All good? Start with this. She was fair on the air, mashed the fire. Oh, never. Oh, Irish. Okay. Let me use the word for that. So, never. Correct. Come on, show some love, everybody. Woo! Good man. Okay, now, next one we're going to go through is washing her feet by candlelight. Never. The answer to that is Spanish lady. Come on, show some love for that, everybody. Trace, what's going on? All right, just let me just ask you a few questions. So for the kids who are coming, what age group do you bring? Sure.
So we do our experiments for 6 to 11 years or 6 to 12 years, let's say primary school.
Yeah.
But we do the same experiments when we do corporate events, and we do big events where there are families or festivals where there's a huge wide range of ages present.
Oh, very good.
So for example, if we're doing slime, kids love slime, but the adults and the older kids are listening to the fact that we're explaining long chain polymerization, non-Newtonian fluids.
Long process, yeah.
Yeah, they're learning a lot. So the children are learning it, but the adults are also fascinated.
True.
And when we do, any of the experiments around exothermic reactions, the children see this cool elephant toothpaste reaction, and the parents are hearing all about chemical and exothermic reactions, and they find it fascinating.
Oh, very good, very good. Now another question for you now. Here we go. Okay, now this one's very simple, okay? He owns a pub, but his fellow is a snob. How we do that? Wow. Never. Give it up for Tracey, everybody. Woo! That was a good one. So, Oscar, talk us through. You said you have something going on with Cetic, if it's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's going on that?
So like I reached out to a few like big influencers and football players on Instagram.
Yeah.
And they get a lot of messages from brands because obviously the market is saturated. So I was kind of like, are they really going to reply? But again, you won't know until you try something. So I just like email and text a lot of them on Instagram. And one guy got back to me. He's like a really big Instagram. And like he said, yeah, sure, that sounds cool. And I was like, whoa, like this is really cool, like, because I wasn't expecting this. So I'm sending him out like clothes, and he's just going to do a little promotion for me. And from there, I want to try get like more influencers. I want to try do stuff that other brands don't do, because again, I just want to stand out with my brand.
Amazing.
And I think that's why I have this as well at the back of my t-shirts.
Okay,
it
very
says,
good.
"Don't think limits."
Wow, wow, don't think limits. Right, so I'm going to give you one more question as well, okay? That's what I like to see. Okay, couldn't chill the water. How's that? Give it a go. Whiskey in the jar. Come on, show some love, everybody. All right, before we wrap things up, Tracey, how can people find you on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram?
So if you just Google Junior Einstein Science Club or me, Tracey Jane Cassidy, but we have our website. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Wow, amazing. Come on, last step. And also, Oscar?
My own Instagram is Lipinski223, and my brand name on Instagram is clubdeluxe.ie. And same on Facebook, and you can shop with a link on Facebook.
Keep selling. I love this young man for what he's doing. Thank you so much. So, take go without things up, kids. Parents can go in. It's not too late for them to actually apply.
No, we've got loads and loads of camps running all summer in Dublin, Meath, Kildare, North Wicklow, Cork, and Galway.
Okay.
And of course, we're always around for science parties and events all over the country.
Yeah, Dad, just flag it there to me quickly. You also said you're doing some international partnership and something like that.
We're doing franchises, licensing, and partnerships with events and people and companies who want to work with us and bring some really fun, hands-on, something unique, something different for events.
Yeah. Some days I would like to want to see this in Africa at some stage.
Oh, absolutely. Wonderful. No, it should happen.
Yeah. It should happen. Come on, show us everybody. Thank you so much. Give it up one more time for Tracey, everybody. And also for Oscar, everyone. Thank you. All right, everybody. This is where we're going to wrap things up. We want to say thank you for tuning in. As always, it's the Jerry Quest Show. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. First, I want to say thank you to all my team. Come on, show some love, everybody. Thank you so much. What a great team. Everyone working so hard to make the show what it is today. So keep following us on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. So I'll come your way next week. Take care and God bless. One more time, everybody. Thank you.
to Cassidy from Junior Einsteins Science Club.
And I'm Oscar, the owner of Club Luxe.
Make sure you tune in to Ben TV
For the G Request show.
Oh, what's going on? Tuesday, 6:30, Sky Channel 175. It's G Request on Ben TV. See you soon. Woo, let's do it. Woo-hoo. Go on. Bye for now. Right on. That's Hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the J Request Show. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. For more behind the scene, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you for watching. See you soon. Thank you.